The long-awaited Apple iPhone 14 event just took place a few hours ago. If you're curious as to what Apple announced but don't feel like watching the 90-minute keynote, well, here's a quick summary of everything Apple announced. And they announced a lot of things. Broad categories: Watch, AirPods, and iPhone. Starting off with the Apple Watch Series 8. The main addition to the previous generation is the introduction of a temperature sensor, as the rumors had suggested, which tracks your temperature as you sleep, sampling your wrist temperature every 5 seconds and detecting changes as small as 0.1 degrees Celsius. This gives even deeper insight into a woman's health, with cycle tracking now able to use temperature data to estimate when you have ovulated, and gives you improved period predictions and notifies you if there's any possible cycle deviations. Health data is end-to-end encrypted with granular control on what data you share and with whom you share it. Of course, you have ECG, blood oxygen, and irregular rhythm notifications, which were all on the Series 7 too. In terms of safety features, in addition to fall detection and emergency SOS, which have been part of the Apple Watch for a while, Series 8 adds support to crash detection, which detects if you are in a severe car crash, and automatically connects you with emergency services. This is possible with the use of 2 new motion sensors, an improved 3-axis gyroscope, and a high G-force accelerometer, which allows it to detect extreme impacts of a crash. The data from these sensors, as well as the microphone, barometer, and GPS. And using machine learning, the watch is able to detect front impact, side impact, rear-end collisions, and rollovers. In terms of battery life, even with the added sensors, the watch is still able to provide 18 hours of battery life, but with a new low power mode, that increases up to 36 hours on a single charge. That new power mode will be available from Series 4 watches and onwards running watchOS 9, so even if you are on an older watch, you can still make use of that. The watches will be available in 4 colors of recycled aluminum, midnight, starlight, silver, and product red, and in stainless steel finishes, silver, gold, graphite. New colors of band styles too are available, and refreshed Nike bands as well. There are also 2 brand new Hermes bands as well. The Series 8 starts at $399 for GPS and $499 for cellular. Apple also announced an upgraded Apple Watch SE as well in silver, midnight, and starlight recycled aluminum. It has the same motion sensors as Series 8 to support crash detection, and it's 20% faster than the previous SE. The SE starts at $249 for GPS and $299 for cellular. And now the interesting addition to the lineup is a new, more rugged Apple Watch called the Ultra. It has a 49mm titanium case and is water resistant up to 100 meters. It has a larger digital crown, a new orange action button to give you physical control over a variety of functions, a second speaker for increased volume, 3 mics to ensure voice clarity in calls even in windy conditions, with built-in cellular on all models. The Ultra has the biggest and brightest display. It's actually twice as bright as other Apple Watches, so it can easily tackle direct sunlight. The Ultra also has the biggest battery, gives you up to 36 hours of battery life and up to 60 hours with a new optimization setting coming later. There's a new watch face called Wayfinder, which includes a compass and a special night mode for better visibility in the dark. The Ultra also has 3 new loops: the Alpine Loop, the Ocean Band with a titanium buckle and loop, and for athletes the Trail Loop, which is made from lightweight textile. The GPS performance is also enhanced with new precision dual-frequency GPS for better accuracy in dense urban conditions. The Ultra also has a built-in 86 decibel siren if you get lost or injured, which they say can be heard from up to 600 feet or 180 meters away. The Apple Watch Ultra starts at $799 for GPS and cellular. And next up, the AirPods Pro, the long-awaited second generations of the AirPods Pro. The stem is still there, contrary to some early rumors. The new Pros have an H2 chip, upgrading performance from the H1 with the high bandwidth connectivity for more detail and clarity, and also has a new low distortion driver. There's now personalized spatial audio as well, and this is interesting, it uses the True Depth camera on the iPhone to create a personalized profile for spatial audio based on the size and shape of your head and ears. This remains to be tested to see how effective that actually is. The ANC on the AirPods Pro first generation was actually pretty great. The H2, as well as optimized placement of microphones on the second gen, promises up to 2 times better noise cancellation over the original Pros. That is quite the bold claim and remains to be tested to see how valid it is. If you are interested to see the results, do subscribe to my channel as I plan on reviewing the AirPods Pro 2 as soon as I can get my hands on them. There's also a new XS ear tip size for better fit for more people. The transparency mode has also been upgraded. The AirPods Pro had one of the better transparency modes of any earbuds, with a mode that sounds quite natural, and now it has something called adaptive transparency, which reduces the volume of environmental noise to reduce the high decibel noise. Again, that remains to be tested to see how effective it actually is. And another feature, which I think would be my favorite, is touch control on the force sensors to control volume. This actually has been one of my major gripes with the AirPods Pro, the fact that you cannot control volume from the AirPods Pro, well, except via Siri, which I don't want to do. The stem, which has the force sensor, adds a capacitive sensing layer to adjust volume with an up or down swipe. The new Pros have longer battery life, up to 6 hours from a single charge, 33% more than the previous generations, and up to 30 hours with a charging case, up by 6 hours from the previous generations. The charging case is also upgraded. With the current AirPod Pros, you can use Find My to locate your AirPods, but now the case as well can be located even when the AirPods are not inside of it. There is an added speaker to the case as well, which helps you find it if it's lost, but also emits sounds to indicate pairing, charging, or low battery. The case can also now be charged on an Apple Watch charger, in addition to MagSafe or any wireless Qi, and of course the Lightning port. And there's also a new lanyard loop on the side of the case. The AirPods Pro will go on sale for $249, pre-orders on September 9, and get them on September 23. And finally, the star of the show, the iPhone 14. The first major change, there's now an iPhone 14 Plus with a larger 6.7-inch screen. This is good news for those who want the larger screen but don't necessarily want to splurge for an iPhone Pro Max. The iPhone has a ceramic shield, which they say is tougher than any smartphone glass, as they claim at least, and is water and dust resistant. It comes in 5 colors: midnight, starlight, blue, purple, and red. The iPhone 14 Plus has the best battery life in any iPhone according to Apple, with up to 26 hours of video playback and 20 hours on the iPhone 14. In terms of performance, it has the A15 Bionic, which is the same chip as the one in the iPhone 13 Pro. In terms of camera, there's a new 12-megapixel camera, a larger sensor and larger pixels, and a faster f1.5 aperture. It has a 49% better low-light performance. The front camera has a faster f1.9 aperture with 38% improvement in low light, and new on the iPhone 14, autofocus on the front camera as well. Apple also introduced an enhanced image pipeline called Photonic Engine to enhance low light images. It gives 2 times low light improvement compared to the iPhone 13 on the front camera and 2.5 times on the main camera. There's also improvement on the video front. There's a new, more advanced stabilization mode called Action Mode to make videos more stable when on the move, and that actually looks quite good. One striking change is that the US models no longer have a SIM tray, only eSIM support. I'm not entirely sure why Apple decided to remove the SIM tray. They're trying to sell this off as a more secure way, and you don't have to quote-unquote deal with the physical SIM anymore, as if dealing with a physical SIM was that difficult a task to accomplish. I'm not very happy with that, just one of the inconveniences I can think of if you're traveling abroad and would like to get a local SIM in whatever country you land in, while if the operators in that country don't have eSIMs, which is the case in a few countries still, tough luck, you cannot use your brand new phone. Not impressed. Anyway, the iPhone 14 also has a new gyroscope and accelerometer to detect crashes, same as the Apple Watch. And lastly, another rumored feature that turned out true, emergency SOS via satellite for when you're in an emergency with no cell coverage. That's a useful feature, but small fine print notes here, it's only included for free for 2 years. After that, well, guess what? You gotta pay, no mention on how much though, and emergency SOS is only available in the US. The iPhone 14 starts at $799 and the 14 Plus at $899, same price as last year, which is a good surprise. Pre-orders start on September 9, the iPhone 14 will be available on September 16 and the 14 Plus on October 7. And now to the actual star of the show, the iPhone 14 Pro. And bye-bye notch. Well, not exactly gone, but Apple did something interesting here. They made it smaller, but are also using software to hide it or make it less conspicuous. And they call it the Dynamic Island, which expands and retracts to display alerts and background activity. So it expands the display call, or confirming the AirPods are connected, muting, starting charge, or even with Face ID or using Wallet. The Music app also shows album art and is also interactive, so you can tap and hold to expose more options. In terms of display, the 14 Pro is brighter with thinner borders, but there's also something new and anticipated over here, always on display. In terms of performance, you get the A16 Bionic chip, which is faster and more power efficient, and the last major upgrade, the camera. For the first time on an iPhone, we've deviated from the 12-megapixel main camera sensor all the way up to 48 megapixels. This, of course, should give much more detailed pictures, and I'm excited to see how these pictures turn out. There's also a new 2x telephoto option, the ultra-wide camera has a larger sensor, and 3x improvement in low light. The flash was also redesigned to be adaptive based on focal length, with 9 LEDs controlling pattern and intensity, and it's up to twice as bright as the previous generation. In terms of video, there's the new action mode as well, and updates to cinematic mode up to 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. You also get all-day battery life with up to 29 hours of video playback on the Pro Max and up to 23 hours on the Pro. And for price, in contrary to the rumors that suggested it would be more expensive, it is still priced the same as the 13 Pro at $999 for the 14 Pro and $1,099 for the 14 Pro Max. Pre-orders start on September 9 and they'll be available on September 16. And that's all for now. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, as this encourages me to continue producing content. You'll also get a notification when I release the video review of the AirPods Pro 2. Until next time, cheers.